American Exodus, cities on the brink. Welcome to travel lifestyle. Look, forget everything you think you know about the American dream. The whole rags to riches, picket fence, two-car garage thing, yeah, that's out. Right now, in 2024, America is witnessing a seismic shift. We're not talking about some political jargon or social media trend. This is about survival. People are fleeing cities, not in trickles, but in droves. These aren't your trust fund kids bored with city life. These are working class families, artists, the backbone of America, and they're being pushed out. Why? Economic downturns, crime rates that'd make your hair stand on end, and a system that seems rigged against the average Joe. Today we're diving deep into the heart of this American exodus. We're talking about the top cities hemorrhaging people and the cold, hard reasons why. This isn't about rubbernecking a car crash. This is about understanding the forces reshaping our nation. If you're ready to peer behind the curtain, hit that subscribe button and brace yourselves. This is the alarming truth about America's forgotten cities. All right, let's start with the poster child for this urban exodus. San Francisco. Remember when this place was all about peace, love, and Burning Man? Yeah, those days are long gone, man. San Francisco today is a city haunted by its own success. The tech boom, while it lined the pockets of Silicon Valley hotshots, it also sent housing costs into the stratosphere. We're talking about average one-bedroom apartments going for $5 a month. You think teachers, firefighters, hell, even your average tech worker can afford that. Get out of here. And then there's the homelessness crisis. It's not just a few folks down on their luck, it's a full-blown humanitarian disaster. Tents lining the streets, human waste in the gutters, and a stench of desperation hanging in the air. It's enough to make anyone want to pack their bags and run. And you know what? That's exactly what's happening. Companies are realizing they can set up shop in cities with lower overhead, leaving San Francisco with a shrinking tax base and a whole lot of problems. New York, New York. The city that never sleeps, right? Well, these days it's also the city that's bleeding residents faster than a stockbroker on a bad day. Look, I love this city, don't get me wrong, but the reality is the Big Apple has become a playground for the ultra-rich, while everyone else is struggling to keep their heads above water. The cost of living here is insane. We're talking about rent prices that would make your eyes water, and forget about buying a place unless you've got a winning lottery ticket. And then there's the grime, the grit, the feeling that the city that never sleeps is also the city that never cleans. The subways are a mess, the streets are crowded, and the constant noise can drive you insane. But hey, at least you can get mugged on your way to work, right? Crime is on the rise in the city, and not just petty theft. We're talking about violent crime, shootings, the kind of stuff that makes you think twice about walking home alone at night. And it's not just the rich neighborhoods that are affected anymore, it's everywhere. The soul of New York, the diversity, the energy, it's being squeezed out by the sheer cost of existence. Chicago, the windy city, the heartland's answer to New York, except, hold on, the wind isn't the only thing that's chilling in Chicago these days. The city is grappling with a 1-2 punch that's sending residents running for the exits, skyrocketing crime, and an economy shakier than a rickety Ferris wheel. Let's talk crime first. Chicago has made headlines for all the wrong reasons, folks. We're not talking about petty theft here. We're talking about gang violence, shootings, carjackings, the kind of stuff that makes you want to invest in a bulletproof vest. And it's not just happening in some far-off corner of the city, it's seeping into every neighborhood, every community. People are living in fear, and who can blame them? They're tired of being told it's not that bad, tired of empty promises from politicians. They want action, and they want it now. But crime is only part of the story. Chicago's economy is struggling to keep its head above water. Unemployment is high, businesses are closing, and the city's finances are a mess. People are being priced out of their homes, forced to leave the city they love because they simply can't afford to stay. Chapter 4. Los Angeles Paradise Lost. Los Angeles, the city of angels, the land of sunshine, Hollywood dreams, and, well, a whole lot of problems. Look, I get it, everyone wants a piece of the California dream. But the reality is for many that dream has become a nightmare. Let's start with the obvious, the cost of living. LA is ridiculously expensive. We're talking about rent prices that would make your head spin, and forget about buying a house unless you're a movie star or a tech mogul. The average Joe is getting priced out, forced to choose between paying rent and putting food on the table. And then there's the homelessness crisis. It's not just a problem, it's a full-blown humanitarian disaster. Tents line the streets, people are living in their cars, and the city seems powerless to stop it. It's a heartbreaking sight, and it's a stark reminder that even in the land of opportunity, not everyone gets a fair shake. But wait, there's more. Let's not forget about the wildfires that rage across California every year, turning the sky orange and making the air unbreathable. Climate change is real, folks, and it's hitting California hard. Add to that the threat of earthquakes, droughts and mudslides, and you've got a recipe for disaster. Chapter 5. Seattle, the Emerald City's fading luster. Seattle. The Emerald City, known for its grunge music, coffee culture and, well, rain. But these days, the rain isn't the only thing dampening the spirits of Seattle residents. The city is grappling with a trio of challenges that are sending people packing sky-high housing costs, a surge in crime, and the aftershocks of a tech boom gone bust. Let's start with the housing market. Seattle's real estate is bonkers, folks. We're talking about prices that would make your head spin. The tech boom of the past decade brought in a flood of high-paid workers, driving up demand and sending prices into the stratosphere. The average person can barely afford to rent a shoebox, let alone buy a house. It's a classic case of supply and demand, and right now, demand is winning, leaving many residents priced out and frustrated. But the housing crisis is only part of the problem. Seattle is also experiencing a surge in crime. Property crime, violent crime, you name it, it's on the rise. The city's police department is struggling to keep up, and residents are feeling increasingly unsafe. It's a far cry from the safe, livable city that Seattle once was. And then there's the tech sector. Seattle's economy has become heavily reliant on tech giants like Amazon and Microsoft. But with the recent economic downturn, the tech sector has taken a hit, leading to layoffs and hiring freezes. This has sent ripples throughout the city's economy, leaving many residents feeling uncertain about the future. Chapter 6. Philadelphia, the city of brotherly struggles. Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, the birthplace of America. It's got history, culture, and a certain gritty charm. But beneath the surface, Philly is facing some serious challenges that are causing residents to flee. We're talking about a struggling economy, high taxes, a public school system in crisis, and a level of violent crime that's enough to make anyone think twice about calling this city home. Let's start with the economy. Philadelphia has long struggled to attract and retain businesses. The city's high taxes and burdensome regulations have made it difficult for businesses to thrive, leading to job losses and a shrinking tax base. This has had a ripple effect throughout the city, impacting everything from public services to infrastructure. And then there's the education system. Philadelphia's public schools have been plagued by problems for years. Underfunding, overcrowding, and a lack of resources have created a system that's failing many of its students. Parents are left with few options, forced to choose between sending their kids to struggling schools or footing the bill for private education. It's a no-win situation that's driving many families out of the city. But the most pressing issue facing Philadelphia is undoubtedly the rise in violent crime. Shootings, homicides, carjackings, you name it, it's happening in Philly. The city's police department is overwhelmed and residents are living in fear. It's a complex problem with no easy solutions, but one thing's for sure, it's driving people away from the city of brotherly love. So there you have it, a glimpse into the harsh realities facing some of America's most iconic cities. These aren't just statistics, folks. These are real people's lives being upended by forces beyond their control. The American dream, at least as we once knew it, seems to be slipping out of reach for many. But what happens next? Will these cities crumble under the weight of their problems, or will they find a way to adapt and thrive in this new reality? The answers are far from clear. But one thing's for sure, we can't afford to ignore what's happening in our urban centres. The future of America, for better or worse, is being written right now on the streets of these struggling cities. If you found this video eye-opening, hit that subscribe button and join the conversation. We'll keep digging deeper into these issues, exploring the challenges and potential solutions facing America's urban landscape. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and most importantly, stay safe.